If you are Cavetown's manager, do not watch this video because I'm about to glaze the shit out of your boss. Hello everyone. Welcome to episode 1 of Bread Babbles, the show where I talk about stuff I like to you so my friends don't have to hear about it for a month. Today we're talking about Cavetown and why I love Cavetown. I've got it written. So, important point 1. Who am I? Hello, I'm Sourdough Bread. I am at the moment, rookie writer / storyteller. I want to make movies. I want to write stories. I'm the author of a web series, an indie web series, by the way. Independent. It's just me. Freshman Shenanigans, which is going to be part of the Shenanigans series. Ooh. I'm also developing a Freshman Shenanigans audio drama, which I hope will be my big break. But there's no such thing as a big break. Why do I like Cavetown? I love Cavetown. How did I discover Cavetown? Alright? I discovered Cavetown through my old buddy, an old friend of mine, who I will not name. I don't even have like a silly name for them, but I will not name them, but they're a good buddy of mine. And they showed me the song. It's This Is Home. Yeah, the most popular one. There's This Is Home and there's Deviltown. Those are the most popular ones. And yes, this was back in 2020. And now I listen to this, I'm like, yeah, it's a song. I wasn't a big fan. And then I listened to Deviltown and I was like, oh, yeah, this is a pretty good song. And I added it to my playlist. And I tried listening to other Cavetown stuff. And I was like, not the greatest. Except for the song Meteor Shower. That song holds a special place in my heart. But that's for later. I'll talk about that later. And then after like 2020, I stopped listening to Cavetown until recently. My series Freshman Shenanigans is set in 2020. And I was like, oh, well, one of my characters, Casey, is the... What's it called? Their voice claim is Young Cavetown. So, I was like, alright, well, if I'm gonna, like, get into the mindset of this character, learn a thing or two about them, I'm gonna start listening to more Cavetown. So I listened to I started back at basics, Deviltown. I'm like, alright, good song. Let me listen to some of the other stuff. And I listened to Boys Will Be Bugs, which is a song when I was 14 back in the day. I didn't like it at all. I was like, oh, this sucks. I listened to it. And I was like, oh, okay. And it started. And it's like, I'm a dumb teen boy. I hate sticks and rocks, but I don't care about the government. I really need a hug. I feel stupid, ugly, pretend it doesn't bother me. And I'm like, whoa, hold on, wait a second. This song's about me. And what I realized is the reason I didn't like it when I was 14 is because I was being called out. I was like, no, I don't feel stupid or ugly. What are you talking about, dude? You did. You know you did. And that's why I didn't like it. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I discovered I listened to his whole discography, Cavetown's. And I'm like, this is so good. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about my favorite Cavetown song first. BG Noise. It's in the album 16/4/16. So like 16th of April, 2016. The album was made to honor Robin Skinner. Robin Skinner is Cavetown. It was made to honor Robin Skinner's friend, Jack Graham, who passed from cancer. It's very sad, by the way. There's also a song in the album called Jack's Song. That song brings me to tears every time. But, BG Noise, alright? Let's start. It feels like a little bit of a part 2 to This Is Home, which makes me, like, it's very, like... I don't understand why it's not popular. Because it starts with a sample from This Is Home. So it starts with the get a load of this monster, doesn't know how to communicate, mind's in a different place. Will everybody please give him a little bit of space? Right? It starts with that, and it's like echoey, right? And then the song itself starts. It says, I haven't got a lot of friends anymore. And my head still says, I have none at all. Let's stop there, alright? Number one. Dude. Everybody knows that country music will call you out. Every alternative person knows Cavetown will call you out. Cavetown's got plenty of songs. There's always one that's specifically for you. BG Noise is that song. 2 years ago, a little more, I was in a dark place. This is me getting personal with the camera, by the way. First time. Sourdough bread gets personal with the camera. Yo! It's fine, nobody's gonna watch this. 2 years ago, I was in a very dark place. Alright? I was going to school. I didn't really have school friends. I still kind of don't. My friends at school are nice. I'm just not. They're not my type of people, and they can tell. And, yeah, nothing against them. They're all great. They're friendly. But I didn't really have friends. And outside of school, I didn't have friends. And I was doing my friendship with my counterpart, Butter, was not good at all. We didn't have beef, but it was a dark period in both of our lives. And so, these lines, I haven't got a lot of friends anymore. And my head still says, I have none at all. So I didn't have a lot of friends. But I had convinced myself that everyone at school disliked me. Even though I was kind of pushing them away. I was pushing them away myself. I was like, I've got no friends. Oh, that's my head saying that I've got none at all. And is it true that I didn't really have friends? Yeah, that's true. My 16th birthday, 16 is, sweet 16. I didn't know who to invite. I invited some of my brother's friends, and then Butter, and then some other guy. Who I was, I knew him, but we weren't, tight, right? So, during that period of my life, I was just dark, and it just, I think this song would have killed me. So, let's continue. But I don't mind being a little bit alone as long as I've got things to call my own. That kind of resonates with me because I was still planning shenanigans. At that point in time, I wanted it to be a comic that I would draw. Because, Butter and I are gonna make Weightless. But I wanted to draw shenanigans so I could, it's nice. You know what I mean? So I can learn to draw as well. But, the fact that it's a web series showed that I am not good at drawing. Let's continue. And I don't mind if you find someone better than me, because I just need you to be as happy as you can be. That's directed me to Butter, especially during that time. Butter had a boyfriend and stuff, and, Butter was in a relationship. And I felt I felt like I was dragging him down. I'm not going to get into Butter's personal life. There's a reason he remains anonymous. But I felt I was dragging him down. And I saw that he was in a relationship. And he was like, there was stuff going on there. And I was like, oh, man, what am I doing here? What's my role in his life? I shouldn't weigh him down with Weightless and stuff. I think that should be my own thing. Maybe I should give up on all of it. And that's how I felt. There's later in this song, then there's the chorus, which is, and now I'm shaking too much. I don't really relate to that all too much. I wasn't much of a shaker. The only thing that would shake is my eye, because I have eye twitching problems. When I'm under even a tiny amount of stress, my eye twitches. I'm surprised it twitched 2 days ago, right? Then this is the official continuation of the get a load of this monster part. And it says, get a load of this man without a plan. He doesn't want to go to school, but doesn't want to upset his dad. Just get out of bed. It's not that easy when your throat goes cold and your arms feel queasy. Sorry for the karaoke there. But this is Robin Skinner. Oh, I'm gonna aim at sourdough bread and boom, I found you. He This speaks to me. This song speaks to me. All right. At the time, Man Without a Plan, I didn't have an idea. I kind of gave up on the idea of shenanigans at the time. Like I kind of did, kind of didn't. But I go to an aviation high school, and like I was kind of like, oh, I could be a pilot and stuff. And that idea completely derailed. That train fell off the tracks, and I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. It was just hard, and I knew I didn't want to go to school. That was a definite thing. I didn't want to upset my dad because he went to that school and he thought it was great, and I'm like, oh my gosh, right? And there was a whole thing. There was a point in my life where I asked my dad, hey, can I like switch schools? And he kind of told me no. Nothing against my dad, he was great, I love him. I think he told me the right thing. But man, that thing spoke to me, because that 16-year-old me, 16-year-old me would have heard this and been like, this song's about me. Oh my goodness. And 18-year-old me hears this, and I'm like, yo, this song's about me. And when your throat goes cold and your arms feel queasy, dude, I can't tell you how many times I stood outside of my apartment building looking up into my window and being like, I don't want to go there. Not like I didn't have problems at home. I'd be like, I have to study. I have to do. There's so much stuff I have to do. I wanted to run away. I genuinely considered that for a little bit. I wanted to run away. I wanted to drop out of school. There was so many things I wanted to do, and I couldn't. And there was so many things I just couldn't do. You know what I mean? And it was just, it was scary. It was a scary time of my life. And this song, I think it would have broke me, or it would have like pulled me out of it. I don't know. I was able to pull myself out, obviously, but you know. And then, all right, let's continue. I'm talking too much. Been in this state for one too many days, and everyone I love is so many miles away. Dude! Let's start with the line, been in this state for one too many days. I can't tell you how many times I walked out of my house on my way to school. Early morning, it's rainy. It's a spring morning, it's rainy. And I'm tired, I fucking want to. No, it wasn't even, it was winter. It was the dead of winter, and it was cold. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I'm just walking. I'm like, ah. And I did that so fucking long. I was going nuts. Sorry for the profanity. I was going nuts. And everyone that I love is so many miles away. All my middle school friends, I had a huge friend group in middle school. It wasn't huge, but I was very tight with the people I was friends with in middle school. They all moved out of my country. They all moved. And one I love is so many miles away. Literally, they left. They were gone, and I was left with just me and Butter, and I felt like I was dragging down Butter. And so I'm like, all right, what am I doing with my life, right? And you can tell I am very emotionally attached to this song, dude. And the final line, this always gets me. This final line, the final line of the song is the one thing I needed to hear at that time. 16-year-old me. Had he listened to this song, he would have sobbed and sobbed, and then he would have heard this, and he would have stood up. And it says, the final line of the song is, snap out of this, 'cause you're so much better than this, boy. I have no words. That's what I needed to hear. Those were the words that 16-year-old little sourdough bread. Had he heard that, he would have stood up, and he would have gone, and he would have done this shit. I eventually did it because summer came. The good times came, but summer came. But had it not come, and had I heard this song, I would have gotten my shit together. I needed someone to tell me that. Nobody did. I didn't really have anyone to tell me that. Like, I guess my parents did, but those are parents. That's a different thing. Every teenager knows. Every teenager knows. You hear your parents, if your parents tell you something, you're just going, shut up, bro. What are you talking about? Because you don't get it. And I still act like that. You know what I mean? My parents try to give me some wisdom. I'm like, shut up. And I don't know if I'm going to regret that or not. I might. But it's, when your parents tell you, like, you're so much better than this, it's like, yeah, you're my parents, so you're obviously going to say that. But I needed someone. I needed someone to tell me, hey, Sourdough, you can do this. You're better than this. You don't have to be sad. You are great. And I would have gotten up and I would have done what I needed to and I would have fixed everything. Something else I wanted to mention. I'm gonna edit this a little bit so it like comes before I talk about Lemon Boy. But in background noise, after it says, or BG noise, sorry, I think it means background, but yeah, I don't know. After it says, "'Cause you're so much better than this boy," it goes into the chorus of "Now I'm shaking too much." I don't really consider that a chorus because it's not really. The song just ends. It's not like it repeats a new chorus or like a uplifting. That's it. It's because you're so much better than this, and that's it. That's all you need. That's all I needed to hear when I was 16. Okay, back. Okay, whoosh. Let's talk about the song "Lemon Boy." Lemon Boy is a very, very, very specific song because it takes out an emotion that I can't describe because I don't fully understand it myself yet. Lemon Boy is a song about, it's about anxiety, technically. That's what, like, the Reddit says. Learning to live with anxiety. And the song, it's about, like, a guy, it's about the singer meeting a friend called Lemon Boy, and making a friend called Lemon Boy, who kind of half ruins his life, but learning to live with him. And Lemon Boy is the personification of anxiety in this song, right? But every time I listen to it, I don't get that. I never get that vibe because I don't really get like I guess it's because the part where Lemon Boy ruins their life is I see the song differently. All right? So, yeah, the first two verses are just the first verse is just introducing there once was a little bittersweet man, they called him Lemon Boy. He was growing in my garden and I pulled him out by his hair like a weed. And like weeds do, he only came and grew back again. So I figured out this time I might just let him be. I'm a little sick, sorry. Lemon Boy and me started to get along together. I helped him plant his seeds and we'd mow the lawn in bad weather. It's actually pretty easy being nice to a bitter boy like him. So I got myself a citrus friend. So those first two verses. So that's the first verse and then the chorus. And that just sets it all up. And then it starts talking about how Lemon Boy is like messing with his life. Soon as Bittersweet started to rub off on me, you'd think smelling like lemon zest would be pretty neat. I found out that my friends are more the savory type, and they weren't too keen on compromising with a nice lemon pie. Now, with this song, now I gotta be careful with my wording because this song is meant to represent as Lemon Boy as kind of a negative thing, and I don't really see it like that. I have a friend. I'm not gonna name the friend. I'm not even gonna give him a nickname like Butter. This actually happened to me a few times. So I have a few friends, and they're all kind of my lemon boys. As in, I'd befriend them, and I'd think they're pretty awesome, right? And we'd do fun stuff. But then my other friends, my main friend group, would be like, "Yo, who the fuck is this? I don't like this person." And I'm like, all right, well, come on, let's bring them into the group. If you don't like them, I'll be there, And they don't like that, and I'm like, all right, well, shit, you know what I mean? And so it's Lemon Boy and I, my friends aren't the savory type, so and they weren't keen on compromising with the lemon pie, right? So my friends don't want to, and my friends aren't bad people for this. It's just, I'm a little more artsy. They're they're a lot more basic. I don't want to say basic, but they're like generic people. And so when I bring another artsy friend, they're like, all right, well, who is this? Get a load of this guy, right? So they don't really fuck with him. And so the chorus, next is the chorus again. Lemon Boy and me, we just gotta get along together. Helped him plant the seeds and we'll mow the lawn in bad weather. It's actually pretty easy being nice to a bitter boy like him. So I got myself a citrus friend. I don't know what the bitter boy thing means. I think that's meant to like represent how he kind of sucks. Again, Lemon Boy, I want to be Lemon Boy's friend, right? I don't want anxiety, but I want to, I want to give him a hug. Hey, what's up, Lemon Boy? It's good to see you. Sometimes I feel like I'm Lemon Boy. And then there's the part of the song where it talks about how he's kind of ruining his life. And with those friends, specifically one of them, again, don't want to say no names because they're going to watch this. And they're going to be like, oh, what are you talking about? I didn't allow that. But me and those friends generally have like a falling out because they're a little different and because they're, for some other issues as well. And what if I run out of fertilizer? What if the clouds run out of rain? What if Lemon Boy won't grow no longer? What if beaches dry of sugar cane? Oh well, the whales start to beach themselves. Tortoise shells tear away from their spines. It happens all the time. It's like our friendship starts falling apart, and I feel like it's my fault, and it is. I did like horrible stuff, but our friendship starts falling apart, and I'm like, fuck, what am I doing? You know what I mean? And this in the song, this is a specific part in the song, right? So after the like Lemon Boy ruins his life part, it seems like the song's gonna end. It seems like the song's gonna end. It happens all the time. And then you're like, you're just listening to the instrumental and you're waiting for the song to end. And then this motherfucker, I don't know if it's an electric guitar or a bass, but it's just but Lemon Boy and I, we're gonna live forever. Like Snufkin and Little Mine will be around forever. And then it goes into that and it repeats that and that becomes the new chorus. Yo, that's so hype because it feels like you repaired your relationship with Lemon Boy. You accept that Lemon Boy's a little bit of a weirdo. You accept that your friends aren't gonna like him, and you're like, you know what? Lemon Boy and I, we're gonna fucking do it. We're gonna do this. We're gonna be goated. We're gonna be tight. We can do this. And I know it's stupid that I'm getting so hype about it, but that part of the song is so good. And I'm like, yo, Lemon Boy and I, we're gonna live forever. I love that. I love it when people say, oh, we're gonna live forever. That's the fucking most awesome thing ever. I want to grab someone's hand one day and I want to tell them, yo, we're gonna live forever. I think I did that to Butter once. Butter and I, we're living forever. He's not necessarily Lemon Boy. But, like, such a good song. Alright? Let's talk about Cavetown's most popular song, Deviltown. I think there's at least, I never really checked on YouTube. I don't know if there are videos like this on YouTube. But this song is the most popular song. His most popular song is Cavetown's most popular song. For good reason. Deviltown, I don't even have to read the lyrics because you know what it's about. But Deviltown is just such a cool concept. Because the thing about the song, it's called, I consider it like song poetry, as in, there's no set. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? What do you mean Deviltown is colder in the summertime? How can a place be colder in the summertime unless it's Australia? Then that's not even summertime, that's just winter on a different time of the year, right? So what do you mean Deviltown is colder in the summertime? It's because Deviltown doesn't fucking exist. It's a mindset. Deviltown is it's your mind when you're 13. It's probably more 13, but Deviltown is your mind when you're 13. And you're just like, fucking, summertime comes and you've got no friends and you go and you're just in your room all day and you don't feel the warmth of other people. That's why I think this song got popular. It released in 2015, but it got popular in 2020 because everyone was inside and nobody felt the warmth of another person. The metaphorical warmth. I had like, I lived with parents and shit. You can feel the heat from them, but like, you're not gonna feel your friends' hugs, like the warmth from it, not the physical, but the I, you know what I mean? That's why it became so popular in 2020. And it's another thing. It just talks about like it's the teenage experience song. I'm gonna give my kids this song, and they're gonna be like, I really hope they like it. Especially my daughter. My daughter better be a fucking weirdo and listen and like be like cool, cause like cool weirdo in a cool way, right? Cause this song, like, you said something dumb again. She's mad, at least that's what they say. Dude! What do you mean, like, it's funny because it's like, she's mad, at least that's what they say. You're pretty sure the person is mad that you, like, might have pissed off. Like, in my case, it's my mommy water. Flower, sorry, she said she wanted to be called Flower. In this case, it's Flower, right? But, like, you said something dumb again. She's mad, but your voice is your voice is in your mind telling you, oh, she's mad. Yo, you gotta stop. You gotta stop doing this. You gotta stop doing that. But you're not actually sure because they might not be, right? Mom, Daddy, on in love. This final settle for 2 birthdays. Yo, you don't want to do sourdough bread. Does not want to talk about the separation of flour and water. All right. Cavetown is colder in the summertime. I'll lose my mind at least another 1,000 times. Hold my hand tight, we'll make it another night. Everyone has a friend who they think of when they listen to Cavetown. Cavetown used to be the song of me and someone else. And it's not it used to be the song, and it still kind of is. I've more associated Cavetown with Casey now, because, writing reasons. But everyone has someone they think of when they hear Hold My Hand Tight, We'll Make It Another Night, when listening to Cavetown, right? The rest of the song, again, it's really, really teenage, like, ooh, you know that feeling when you're a teenager and you're just like, oh, everyone's looking at me, oh, I'm so scared, what if I stink to it? Right? You're just gross, and you're gross mentally, and you're gross physically, and it's just like, ugh. These illogical lyrics that, like, don't mean anything feel so much like that. We're all dead in Cavetown, that's fine, because nothing's gonna scare us now. We're all in our dressing gowns, mine's white and stripy, yours is green and brown. It's like, what does this mean? White and stripy is like prisoner, but what the fuck is green and brown? Is that like a European prisoner? Just, like, I forgot my name again. I think that's something worth remembering. Spiders in your favorite shoes, just leave them be because they must scare you. The I forgot my name again thing, I think that's like, some bad happens to you and your mind blocks it out. I have a few of those myself. But, like, spiders in your favorite shoes, just leave them be because they're most scared of you. What does that mean? And that's the point. You're not supposed to know what it means. Not because it's poetry, but because you're a little fucking teenager who's like, oh, I don't know anything. What's going on, right? That's how I see it. And then I still get a little scared of something new, but I feel a little safer when I'm with you. Falling doesn't feel so bad when I know you've fallen this way too. I love it! Because everyone has a best friend, no matter what. When you're a teenager, you're going to have one person who you stick to, who you're tight with. It doesn't matter if you're good or bad with them. You're with them. It's tight. And you've gone through the same shit. And you know what I mean? And the song ends with, like, the Cavetown is colder in the summertime. I hope I'll lose my mind at least another 1,000 times. Right? And it just does the chorus again. But it's like, dude, it's such a good song. No wonder it's the most popular song. Right? Let's talk about my OC Casey. One of the 3 main characters in Freshman Shenanigans. I love Casey. She's my baby. Mwah. Casey's a little 14-year-old whose voice claim is Cavetown from these older albums. I love Casey. Dude, if I have a daughter, that motherfucker needs to be like Casey. Yo, she's so sweet. And the thing when I wrote Casey, I wanted to encapsulate the feeling of being a teenager in a person. Now, sure, that's all three of them. All three of the characters are like different genres of teenager, right? But Casey was the feeling of a teenager. Oh my gosh, like Casey. This is probably going to be a thing in the future. People are like, oh, Brent sucks at writing because all Casey's whole character is being nervous. Yeah, because everyone's nervous. I was nervous. I'm nervous. I am nervous. At school, I come and I sit. I don't talk to anyone because I'm nervous. What if I look like an idiot? And I've been like that for years. And Casey is me venting that. And I know I'm not alone. And now Casey, there are obviously aspects to Casey that which I don't relate to at all. The LGBT aspects, for example, right? Like I'm unlabeled because I'm a living piece of bread, right? I'm made of fucking sorry. I'm made of dough and water, alright? No, I'm made of flour and water, alright? I've got the magic yeast that makes me look like a person. Right? But like Casey being non-binary, that's a spoiler, shut up. Casey's non-binary doesn't know that, and so Casey's constantly like a cat with its fur puffed up because they're not comfortable with themselves, they're not comfortable with the world around them, they're comfortable with nothing, and that's how it feels to be a teenager. And that's how I don't really feel as much anymore, but like in certain situations, that's how I feel. That's how everyone feels. I have a bad habit. Whenever I have a celebrity I like, I want to be their friend. It started when I was a kid. My imaginary friend was Stampy. And I loved Stampy, and I'd like watch Stampy and stuff. I'm like, oh, Stampy! And so I'd have an imaginary friend, Stampy, and I'd pretend bro's in my house, and I'd pretend I'm friends with bro. And something I never really realized until recently is that I've carried that with me my whole life. I used to pretend Doctor Who was my friend. I used to pretend that like the Minecraft YouTubers were my friends. I used to pretend, so on and so forth. I want to be friends with Robin Skinner. Is that ludicrous to say? That's why I said at the beginning, if you're Cavetown or Cavetown's manager, don't watch this. Because, like, you know how stupid it would be if Brett's watching this? Because I'm going to message... Oh, my cat. I have a cat, by the way. That's my cat. Get out of here. You know how stupid it would be if Robin Skinner or Robin Skinner's manager watches this video and is like, kill all this guy. Because I'm going to have to contact them to use Cavetown in the finale of Freshman Shenanigans, the audio drama. And I want to be their friend. I want to meet bro. I met before. Because I've watched... So I'm not like a super duper fan. Like I've listened to a good chunk of their discography, if not all of it. But I've listened to a good chunk of their discography. And I've listened I don't really know. I think it's a he, they. I think they're a he, they. I've listened to his discography and I've watched some of his older YouTube videos because I'm like, I'm curious. What was Cavetown doing when he was my age? And bro seems so chill. I want to be his friend. And he's like, there's a 10-year age gap between us, but I don't care. I want to go to New York or wherever he is right now. New York, Cambridge. I want to be like, yo, what's up, Cavetown? Let's go grab some lunch. And we go talk about Minecraft or something silly like that. Because I want to be their friend. And I don't know. I think that's ridiculous to say. But it's really not. Speaking of their discography, I love the new album Running with Scissors. I've been listening to it. I'm like, this is so good. And it's very obviously very, very different to his usual stuff. It's a lot more energetic. It's not like, honey, you're the one that I want and I really want to hurt you. But the classic Cavetown is sprinkled in there, like with the song Crippled. Yeah, the instruments are different, but come on, the lyrics, that's Cavetown. I love it. And I've been listening to it, I've been jamming to it, I'm like, this is great. Everyone should listen to this. And I feel kind of bad. I'm lying, I don't feel bad at all. Everyone should be listening to this, and it's so great. And I want to hear more of his stuff. And I want to buy his. If there was like a shelf of his old discography, all the singles, all the albums, I am buying all of that. Give me. In conclusion to episode 1 of Bread Babbles, I like Cavetown.